Okay, I get the opportunity to share some text with you that I've used in the classroom in the past. I'm an ESL teacher at BF Grady in Duplin County. I teach middle school through high school students, and I'm just going to share a little bit with you about these texts. This particular text you've probably seen. It's Finish Line for ELLs. They have it in by grade levels. I have 6th, 7th, and 8th grade books like this. Now, I do like Finish Line, but let me tell you why I like it. I like it for testing purposes only when we're about to test, just to have the kids practice some of those skills. As you can see, it has like one question per page. It's not much you can do, but it does have every component from the access test that the kids have to take. But as far as a classroom text, it is not something that I would suggest to use it as a whole group class lesson throughout the year. This is more of a book that you use to practice for testing. So for whole group lessons, I would say a no on this one, just for testing only. All right, let's look at vocabulary links. This is another book. It's a good book. It is a level book. This is a level H. I think this one is more so to be used for differentiated instruction. This is another one I don't think that I would use for whole group learning because honestly, I like that it has short passages and vocabulary. However, this reminds me more of a worksheet. This is not going to be very engaging for students, but it is something that they can do during their individual work time. If it has, different levels, you can give each kid, that particular level book on whatever they're working on. So that's good. But as a whole group, I would not use this text to teach from because it's not going to be very engaging. Although I do like the fact that you can differentiate with it. So for whole group lessons, thumbs down. Now, I do, however, like a program that we have. It's not necessarily one book, but my goodness, oh my goodness, it has a carousel of books within this program, and students they're engaged in lessons. It has vocabulary, a read aloud, think aloud. It has conversation time, work time, and wrap up time. To do this program, I have a MacBook. It's behind me. I have my smart board. I can project for the students. So I'm going to move this over so you can kind of see what's going on the smart board while I'm talking. This is a vocabulary word that I've just sent. I can send these surveys to the students. They can respond, send it back to me, and we interact that way before we even get started with our read aloud. And then with the read aloud lesson, I just want to take a minute to look at that. And then with the read aloud, we have the opportunity to show graphic organizers. I can send these graphic organizers to the students. They can see those on their iPads as well. We can discuss, we can recall information, we can discuss different things. There are all kinds of different ways that we can interact with the graphic organizers, and those are important for our ELLs. Okay, also let's look here. When we read the book, I just click on read the book, and then we start reading and working together. And so when the book shows up, the kids can see it on the smart board, and they can see it on their books. It has stopping points of where I can stop to discuss information with the students so that they can work on the reading strategy of the day. For example, it was make a prediction, so we would stop at a certain point in this book, and I'll put this up, and they'll make a prediction, and we'll move on. So that is the book part of that. It also has a classroom conversation, because we're trying to work on the whole student, not just work on writing or just reading, but we need to work on all those areas so that our students can function better at school and at home with the English language. So this is a conversation starter that we have. We also have our work time where students work on, and I'm going to show you this as I'm going to show you my iPad. And I have all these different links over here that I can click on to work with students. Not only that, let's look a little bit further into this program. This is my planner, and this is where there are different lessons. There are different units, and I click on those lessons, and they do those. And then, moreover, they have their assignment blocks. This is where I can send assignments to them. These are differentiated assignments. One of those assignments is called an interactive reader. You can see that here. There are different interactive readers, but the program, when I click send, it only sends out the interactive reader that is appropriate for that student. So it's differentiated instruction. And so it reads based upon their last interactive reader, how they did, and then it sends out another interactive reader to them. And let me show you the interactive readers so that you can see this is not just, this is not just something that the kids look at and they're bored with it. They have very colorful pictures. You can see it's interactive. Some of them, they speak. You can press a button and it can read to them if they need that feature. These programs can translate into so many different languages. They read, they slide the screen as they're reading. And then they have questions at the end. They have summaries that they have to do. They have to read. They have reading checkpoints. They have critical thinking. It is an excellent assignment. I love the interactive reader. Not only that, let's take a look at this. This is what I really love. There is a carousel of books that the students can choose from, that they enjoy reading about, books that they are interested in. They can search an item. They can put in wrappers. They could search wrappers and it'll pull up books on wrappers or athletes or shoes or whatever it is that they like. They can pull it up, and this is what they use during their individual reading time. And so they have that throughout the week. For 10 minutes, they read on their own, and they love doing this because it gives them a freedom of choice. They can choose between what books they want, and they engage and interact. Not only that, let's go just a little bit further with this. There is also a performance button for the teacher, and this shows how the students are performing with reading comprehension, with word count. It counts the words that they're reading, vocabulary. It shows that how the students are doing with vocabulary. As we move the link, we can see how they're doing. It shows language arts, their skills, and their writing based upon what they've done in the class. So this program has been phenomenal for me. I can send the students stars, I can buzz them, and I can select all students if I choose, send them a message while they are working on their ILIT, on their individual program. I can say excellent progress and send that to all of the students, okay, or whatever I want to say to them, and they get that. They get that message and they get stars. So I could click on 3 stars, send them to all the students, and buzz them, and it goes to them, and they can see that while they're working. So as I'm walking around and monitoring the classroom, they can see these things work. Okay, so I know I am over my time limit, but I had to take time to show you this program. It is phenomenal. I totally enjoy working with it. It is just one of these things that I think every ELL student should be able to experience. So thank you so much. I'm telling you, if you can teach with ILIT ELL version, it is a great program. Thank you so much.